everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer. Okay, so first I want to say, because I know this is going to get asked about in a video, this was not made by me. This was made by a wonderful subscriber to this channel. It is the Virus Meets Granny shawl, and that's what's on Brunhilde today. It is beautiful. I love it, but it's too warm to wear it right now. But you better believe that's going to be in some future videos, because that's going to be when I'm cool enough to sit on the back porch with a shawl. So, all right, what have I been doing? That seems to be the question. Well, first of all, it's almost the end of the month. It has been quite a month. I set a very big goal for myself at the beginning of August. I wanted to do a vlogist style vlog this month, but I knew I was not capable of doing a vlog every single day for the month of August. I knew I would not be able to do that, so I set a goal to make at least 4 videos per week, which would give you guys an extra video every week. I also set a financial goal for myself this month, and I don't know if I've reached it yet, but fingers crossed. We're not here to hear about my finances though, but I do want to say it has been a lot of fun trying to come up with little videos to entertain you guys throughout this month. I did a couple of videos about what I do with the vegetables that come out of my garden and how I use them up, because I have always seen people growing up, especially if they had a garden, they would share it with all their neighbors or like friends and family, because it was always too much food that they could not possibly consume, and so they would give it out to everybody, you know. Well, I try very hard to just grow the vegetables that I know my family will consume, and I try to make those last as long as possible so we have, you know, we have good vegetables in the house, even if it means I have to pickle some things or, you know, make big salads every day. That's cool, because to me it's like it helps me with my grocery bill, but it also helps me to provide my family with like nutrition instead of like cheap junk food and all that stuff. So I thought I would do a couple of those videos. I threw those in there. I was gonna walk you out to my garden, but it's in a sad shape right now. We have been getting so much rain that the back of the yard is at a slope, and so it's kind of like soppy wet now, and I don't want to walk back there because I go out there in my bare feet. I do not garden with shoes on. I do not find that enjoyable. I always garden barefoot. So I didn't want to be sloshing around in the mud, because underneath my beds and around my raised beds it's kind of squishy. So, and it's also, it needs to be weeded and weed whacked, and like it's not in the prettiest shape. But I will tell you, I'll give you a garden update right now. This has been the best year my garden has ever had, and I'm so super proud of it. I am usually overwhelmed with tomatoes and cucumbers, and I usually can't use them up enough. And so this year I was careful. I bought, instead of the big cucumber plants, I bought pickles, so that the cucumbers are smaller, more manageable to eat, and then I can pickle them. And also, I usually get like a big burst of cucumbers, and then my plants are dead by July because of the heat. And this year, we set up a really cool timer out there, and so it waters my garden every single night at 8 o'clock for 20 minutes, and my garden has done better than it has ever done. And I have had like so many poblano chilies, green peppers, jalapenos, cucumbers, tomatoes. My herbs are doing really good. I have sage and basil out there. And now I just started a little thyme plant that I got from Setta's place. That will go out there if it decides to take well into the pot it came in. And what have I been doing with the vegetables is I've made delicious recipes like the caprese salad I showed you the other night. I made poblano chicken, which was so good. I roasted the poblanos. I got them all black, and then that's to get the skin off. So I peeled them, but they had that lovely char grill flavor on them. And then I boiled the chicken until it was tender enough, not to shred, but to chop up into chunks. And I mixed the poblanos with the chicken, and I made a roux, and I put some cheese in the roux. And so, oh my God, it was like chicken and cheese and poblanos. It was, oh, it was good. I served that over some Mexican rice, homemade, of course. And then I made several types of pickles. I made wasabi pickles, which my daughter likes. I made dill pickles, and I made sweet and spicy pickles. And then, yeah, I've been trying to cook and jar and pickle and, you know, freeze whatever I need to. And in between that, this was the first week of back to school with the kids. My son is just in first grade, so they don't have a lot for him to do right now. This week, they didn't really have him do anything except check in and answer a question, which I was not real happy about that. But my daughter, she's 10th grade. She's kind of like doing things on her own. It's kind of cool. So it's been different. I don't have the office space to come in here and work, so that's been kind of hard. Not trying to make videos on different days and in the evenings so that Mr. Cinnamon can work in here and the kids can do homework, and it's been different. It's definitely been different. And in between, I've been trying to work on crochet and knit projects, and I had a couple of people that kind of made rude comments to me in the comments that they don't want to see this other stuff, that they want to see what I'm making. Well, I got a lot going on in my life right now, so I'm not made a lot. And I'm making a really big, large project for the Halloween mail with Ricola's Crochet Corner. And I don't show works in progress because I don't know what's going to become of them. And I just don't like showing whips. I don't. So until that giant project is done in a couple weeks, you will not see that, but know that I'm working on it as much as I can. But in between the crochet, I've been working on my knitting. And I did show this in a video, but I promised I would come back and show this. This is the Ross hat, because that's the only hat pattern I really know right now. And it's a really good pattern, and I'm trying to memorize it. But I keep having to look at it over and over again because I keep forgetting like little details. But that's me, you know. Anyway, so I made it out of, this is Muir Woods. Let me show you. I love knit hats. And I was video chatting with my sister the other day, and she was crocheting a hat, and she was struggling with it a little bit, and I was watching her, and I was like, I may never crochet another hat for the rest of my life, because I just like the knit hats so much better. There is so much stretch and give to them. They fit a wider range of heads. So this will fit my son's head, but it also fits my head very well. And it feels nice. I love the striping in the Muir Woods yarn. Muir Woods is a yarn from Premier Yarns. It is one of my favorites. But seeing it knit up is drastically different, and working with it knit up is drastically different than crochet. And I'm kind of in love with this yarn, and I'm going to be working with it some more. So I did show you that, but I did promise that I would show you that in another video. So, and a lot of these hats are just for me, so that's why I'm trying them on. And then I made a set out of the Bloom yarn. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I started off, and I didn't weave in my ends in the cowl yet. Just ignore that. I started off, I thought this was going to be a hat. I thought, I'm using much smaller needles, and even though this is supposed to be a number 3 yarn, it's a really thin number 3 yarn. I thought I would use the hat pattern that Ross wrote for the smaller needles instead of the size yarn, and I miscalculated, and I knew almost right away that it was not going to fit my head. It was just going to be too big. And that's another thing, is like when you crochet something, you could like measure the band around your head and go, okay, that should fit, and go from there. But with knitting, because it's all compact on the needles, it's really hard to judge the sides. So, but the good thing is, if I mess up the hat and it's too big, it becomes a beautiful cowl, right? So I started off with this, which I love, and this is going to probably be my favorite set for the winter, because I love the colors. And I love the way it fits around my neck. But I had some yarn left over, and I went back to the drawing board, and I made another Ross hat. that pretty? I mess up every single hat I make, but I just keep going because that's how we roll. Is this not beautiful? I am so proud of this. I just think this set is so gorgeous. I love the color. This is Premier Yarn's Bloom yarn. It is a very thin yarn. They have a chunky version too, which is a lot of fun to knit with. But I think I only have 2 more skeins of that, so I'm trying to save that. So I made that set. And then I wanted a chunky version. So this is a lightweight number 3. This is worsted. This next set I'm going to show you is Serenity, again, Premier Yarns. Serenity Chunky. I don't know the colorway because I don't have the ball band in here. But it was up here on my shelf. It was like right there. And there's actually a hole there now. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna try with the chunky yarn. So I've officially the past 2 weeks, I have made all 3 sizes of the Ross hat. So this is my chunky in Premier Serenity Chunky yarn, and I fell so in love with that. I had another ball. This took less than 1 ball of yarn, which for crochet and chunky yarns, it usually takes me like 1.5 balls to make a hat. But knitting takes up way, way less. There's a weird loop right there. Like I said, nothing I make is perfect. Crochet, knit, doesn't matter. None of it is perfect. So anyway, I had probably a skein and a quarter left over from this yarn. So I was like, well, I'm gonna make a cowl. So I started off the way that I usually start the hats off, and I do the ribbing. But I changed Ross's pattern for myself to a 2x2 rib here and a 2x2 rib here. So it's knit 2, purl 2 for the rib, because a lot of times I still am learning the way the stitches look, especially the first row is like killer for me. I cannot tell which is a purl and which is a knit. And I get a lot of, mommy, honey, like somebody's always interrupting me in the ribbing, and I lose count and then I mess up somewhere and then I get like some weird funkiness, okay? So doing 2x2 is a little bit easier for me to recognize the stitches or count 2, 2, 2, 2 from the start. I hope I'm not losing you guys. So I usually change it to a 2x2 rib, but Ross's pattern is a 3x2 rib. So that's what I did the cowl in. And I started doing just the ribbing, and I was going to do it like I did this one and do ribbing, straight knit, and then ribbing. But I decided once I got so far, I was like, what if I just did the whole cowl, a ribbed cowl? And I'm so in love with this cowl. I'm so in love with this cowl. This is just the 3x2 ribbing all the way around. I love this set. It is so pretty. And it's stretchy enough that it comes out and it actually lays here. It will lay really nice underneath my jacket and still keep my neck warm like a turtleneck. And I can tuck my face in if it gets too chilly. It's just, I just love it. And then if you want, you can fold it down. I think this is beautiful. I love this yarn. I have, of course, made stuff crochet out of the same yarn, the Serenity Chunky. And I just like knitting it with it. It's just so, it's like a whole different ball of wax. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. I love it. I love the striping. That's what I have been knitting. My crochet in a couple weeks when it's done. It's a blanket, okay? I'm just going to say that. It's a blanket. But it's a Halloween themed blanket. I will show you that when I get around to it. There is a lot of street traffic going down my neighborhood today. There's cars racing up with little kids and just, oh. We had somebody plow through the front entrance to our neighborhood last night, mow down a street lamp and some of the signage, and took off. So the cops think it was like probably somebody who was inebriated. But they left car parts, and it's a BMW, a silver BMW. So I think they're probably going to be caught like really soon. Because they were obviously entering our neighborhood, which means they probably live in the neighborhood. Okay, guys. I went back to Hobby Lobby today. I know that none of you are surprised by this. But, yeah. I just wanted to see what they had left. I went to Michael's to just look for the anniversary cakes from Karen. I don't know that I want to buy one just because I think it's a gimmick. And I don't think I'll ever use the cake. So, I don't know. I'd rather spend my money on a couple bobbins because I know that I will use those. But a cake that size, I don't think that I will use, honestly. I don't know. I'm kind of glad Michael's didn't have them. I know that they're probably just in the back somewhere because the app says you gotta go visit the store to buy them. But they're still like, the aisles are all empty. They haven't restocked them yet. And they don't even have like any of the fall yarns out yet. So instead of spending $34 on a cake at Michael's, which I'm glad I didn't, went to Hobby Lobby and spent $20. I'll show you what I got. I got 3 of the Red Heart Hygge charms. And if you remember, I got some of these in one of my last hauls. But I got black and white. I didn't even see that they had this teal color. But it's so sparkly and pretty. I got 3 of these. The retail price is $10 and I paid $2.50. And they're a pretty good size balls. 432 yards. But I just thought this color would be gorgeous on my daughter. So I might make her something. I got 3 of those. They had a bunch of this true color, which I didn't see last time. And these were regularly $4.99, marked down to $1.24. And they're a chunky weight yarn. So I figured this will make some, like, you know, hats and cowls, probably for Christmas. Or for the winter to get donated. This is a really soft yarn. It's 76 yards. So, I don't know if that'll make a hat, but I assume that it will. And I got it in blue and hot pink and yellow and gray. Hang on, there's more. And dark gray. And I got 3 in the coral because, you know, coral's my color. Coral is my jam. So I got all those. And those were just $1.24 each. What else? What else? And then I got the last 2 of the Marblesque. Let me show you the one that's not tore up. $5.49 for $1.37. 216 yards. Fibers are flying in the air. This is really soft and pretty. It's acrylic, wool, and alpaca. It's mostly acrylic though. Isn't that beautiful? I regretted, the first time I went, I regretted not getting more of this. So I'm glad that they had 2 more of the yellow. That's all they had. They were wiped out. They were wiped out. Somebody went in there and just bought it all up. And it wasn't me this time. It was not Cinnamon Stitches. All right. That's what I've been up to, guys. I want to have more to show you, but life, you know, life. So I thought at least I would come on and show you what I've made. I also got my Mary Maxim kits. I got my crochet and my knit club for the month. And I got a really cool email from them. And I talk about this because I did a video for those clubs. I got a really cool email from Mary Maxim thanking me for showing the mystery boxes and the kits. I don't think they knew who I was until very recently. They were surprised that I showed them and they were happy and grateful. So they gave me a coupon code for Mary Maxim. So I will put that in the description box below for this video. In case anybody wants some Mary Maxim, they want to go buy it. I have a coupon code. It's like 5 off of 25, I think, or 5 off of 20, something like that. I'll put that in the description box below. But I was like really surprised to get an email from Mary Maxim. I tend to feel like a small channel still, and I feel like
I just go unnoticed, you know, which is silly because I'm clearly getting noticed, but I don't know, I feel like everybody else. I don't feel like I'm nothing spectacular, or, you know. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just everything, honestly, everything. Cooking, trying to take care of the house, trying to take care of the kids, trying to be a school teacher, trying to be a podcaster, trying to crochet and knit in between all that. I got no complaints. I have a pretty good life. I really do. And I'm really grateful. I don't know. I'm really grateful, like, through this whole COVID thing, that Mr. Cinnamon has been home through most of it. He does have to go into the office on occasions, but mostly they shut down and they have let the employees work from home, which is kind of cool. I'm glad that he has been here to at least be an extra hand in the house when things get crazy, because we all know, like, moms don't get a break. And especially this month with me, like, going extra hard trying to get the videos up and getting videos made, like, it's been some stressful moments, but I'm glad that I've done so well so far. I put out a lot of videos this month, a lot, way more than I planned, but I'm glad that I did it, and I can look back and say, hey, I did Vlogust, you know. So at least I'm kind of meeting my goals, still setting them and breaking them. I think I'm gonna let you guys go. I can't really think of anything else to talk about, but I do wish I had more knit and crochet to show you, but I don't have the time. I wish I could sit and just all day crochet and knit and just swim in the pool and have, like, a pool boy bring me snacks. Wouldn't that be awesome? Just lay out there and just this gorgeous man just bring me food. And clean my house for me. And teach the kids for me. I don't know. Now I'm dreaming. Now I'm dreaming. All right, guys. I'm really letting you go this time. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.